Sometimes the greatest journeys lead us back home. This is the story of three sisters, separated by continents, connected by love, coming together for a surprise that will change everything. From across the world, they've traveled in secret, carrying memories, laughter, and the joy of reunion. Their destination? Ibadan, Nigeria. And their mission? To give their parents the gift of a lifetime.
Hello. So, quick status update. We're here in Ibadan, and this idea just came a couple of months ago where I had been thinking, it would be nice to come see our parents and just hang out with them.
There's something that I treasure that we've gotten from the Daudu family, and that is love unlimited. That is love unlimited. We saw it demonstrated by my dad over and over.
And that's the core of it. I think that's the core of all families at the end of the day.
My family happened to be a very happy family. We are very unique.
And this is the first time all of us are meeting after several years.
Hello. All right. My name is Shay Akinola Ni Daudu. So, in the Daudu family home, welcome. I'm the eldest sibling of three girls. I have two boys, interestingly, how life goes, right? So, I've got two teenage boys who give me a run for my money. So, I think I can be described as a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, a friend, a physician, and generally very, very energetic and fun-loving person.
The Oluwa Kemi Elufisayo Daldu. Everybody calls me Kemi. I'm a software engineer. Started out computer science, finally settled as a software engineer. As a child, I wanted to be a hairdresser. And then I wanted to be a policeman. And zoomed out to wanting to be a lawyer. I'm eventually going to be a lawyer. I'm currently a software engineer. I have a daughter, Sophia. My husband is a data analyst, so we work together a lot. I used to sell fabric and make clothes. I consult for people. I build websites on the side. In my heart, I'm an entrepreneur. I like to sing, I like to travel, I love to drive. And I love my quiet time just by myself. Watch a movie, hang out with my husband and my kid. That's my favorite thing to do, actually. Yeah, that's me in a few words.
All right. My name is Tolu Olumoyiwa, and I live in Houston, Texas. I have lived here for 12 years. I am married. I've been married for 12 years. We have two kids, a boy and a girl. The boy is 10. His name is Toby Gray. We have a daughter. Her name is Erin Goldie. By profession, I work for the government. I am an epidemiologist, which means that I prevent or I study the prevention of infectious diseases. For fun, I love to work with people. So I'm a youth minister and also a premarital counselor. So if you are trying to get married, reach out to me. I also love making friends. So I'll make friends with folks like anywhere. I have friends that I met on the train like 20 years ago and we are still friends. So in a nutshell, that's me. I love to have fun, but also really, really, really like being a family person.
I'm Bolanle Aduke Daudu. I happen to be a teacher. I have lived in so many areas of Nigeria. I started after my marriage in 1980. My first place of call then was Kaduna. Then from Kaduna, lived in Warri. From Warri to Port Harcourt. I retired from Warri. And since then, things have been okay. We relocated to Ibadan.
So my name is Olabisi Daudu. I'm a mechanical engineer, registered with Council of Registered Engineers of Nigeria. I've been registered for more than 30 years. And I worked with the NNPC for 32 years and retired in 2010 when I was 16. So since 2010 to date, I've been a free man, enjoying myself, living on my pension. So I have all the time in the world to do what I like. I travel a lot. I go visiting my children all the time, but this year they decided to come and visit me. So those are the women you see around. You can see their pictures there everywhere. You know, so yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so my dad, I'll start with my dad. My dad is the eldest of many kids. But fun fact is my grandpa didn't raise them as individual or different people. He had over 20 children, 3 wives, but it was ingrained in them that you are nuclear, as extended as they were. And my dad is the oldest of 3, all of them. And just saying the way he's loved his siblings, you know, responsible for everybody since he was 30 when he lost his dad, that rolled into a nuclear family. And so there were no excuses, no matter how bad or whatever. You had to forgive, you had to love, you had to, you know, this is your sister. There's no story in between. I remember when the first time she went to school, because there's some gap between all of us, right? So she went to secondary school and she was in boarding house and they were calling her Senior Shei. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term. And of course, she came back and me and Tolu became automatically the juniors in her hostel. And she punished us. And my dad came back and hey, cut this crap. If anybody does anything to you, you report to me when I get back from work. No punishing of anybody in this. So yeah.
I think I would describe us as a very close-knit, warm family. We're from a very big polygamous family in terms of my dad. You know, I think in total, there are over 30 siblings. My grandfather had 3 wives. We're from Ijebu-Ode and in Ogun State, Western Nigeria. But they were raised without differences. So they all grew up seemingly like children from the same mom. You know, so long after my grandparents are gone, you know, the siblings continue to relate to each other. So we're big, you know, we're a big family. We have us here in Nigeria. We have in America, we have in the UK. We actually call ourselves the Daudu Dynasty, and we have a Facebook group. And we jokingly say, oh, maybe we'll end up, you know, sometime, maybe the grandkids or great grandkids may one day just marry themselves without knowing, you know, so we should take this interview thing seriously, you know. But yeah, so we're just a very close-knit, big, extended family.
I will say that we are a really, really loving family. Like we will go to the ends of the earth for each other. And my dad really modeled that. Daddy is such a family man, like really a family man, and he loves his friends. And he actually modeled that. So that is something that I think comes along with any 3 of us. Yesterday, my mom met you, and I don't know if you remember, but she said, Otini family niye now. And it just means that we're loving people. When people meet our parents, that's something they never forget. Because my parents don't forget. Dad is friends with our friends on Facebook, comments on their birthdays. Mom is like that as well. She'll call my friends in Houston to ask about them. My friends from elementary school too, we went to school in Warri. And so we used to live in Warri many years ago. And we are still in touch with those friends. So when I think of the Daudus, this Daudu family, we are a really loving family.
Yeah, my family happened to be a very happy family. We are very unique. Like I said, my husband happened to be the head in the place. And he's such a man of his words. He's a man of his words and a disciplinarian. The girls can tell you their experiences. That my husband is that one that will not tolerate any nonsense, even when the children were growing. But he's very loving. He can go out of his way to satisfy these children. We all loved each other. I remember when I was undergoing a course at the University of Port Harcourt. My husband would come all the way from Warri. We are then in Warri. He will come all the way from Warri. He will prepare soup, boil rice, made everything, and brought the girls to come and visit me in the school. He's such a man that there is nothing he cannot do. Even as he's old in his 70s now, he washes his plate by himself, because he said he doesn't see me as a housewife or a slave, that the two of us are made to complement one another.
To a large extent, what I am today because of my wife. Why do I say that? I met my wife when I was 19 or so. I was 19. I was in the Polytechnic. She was in the secondary school. We got married 11 years later when I was 30. I'd finished, I started work, and she had gone to Academy of College of Education. And when we got married, she went to University of Port Harcourt for bachelor's and a master's. It's been wonderful. And you know, we are young people, but I must tell you that marriage is a journey. And on that journey, you climb hills and go through slopes. And sometimes you have a very smooth road and you can speed. And sometimes you go into bumps. So, ours is no exemption. We went through all that. But on the whole, I think I can creditably say that we have been a happy family. There was pressure on us for having more children because we had 3 girls. But the pressure was more on my wife. You know, thinking that maybe later in life, at that time I had nothing. Maybe if I come by money, I may be tempted to look for a boy outside the home. So, but that didn't happen. I'm happy with the girls that I have. They're well trained, they're well educated, and they can hold their own anywhere. So, what else do you want from a child?
So one of the fondest memories I have of this family are those long road trips. Nigeria was safe, you could get in your car, you could travel the length and breadth of the country. And one thing we always did was we came home every year for Ileya, which is the Muslim festival. Idel, is that Fitri? Yeah. You know, so we would come, we'll spend like 4 days, spend a day on the road traveling. You know, then we'll have Ileya, we'll kill the rams, and the rams will be killed by the uncles, you know. So you had these memories of all the uncles without their shirts, some blasting music from one radio up the fence somewhere. And, you know, we'll all just be running around. We'll have that tradition. Then after that, all the women, the wives, the grandmas will typically be cooking the meat and frying. And then we'll go to the grandparents. I had 2 sets of grandpas, let's put it that way. So those are brothers, right, that were siblings. You know, and we'll have Grandpa Ilekeji and Grandpa Iletiwa, and we'll have the notes. Then we'll have the 1 naira notes given out, and everybody will have their Christmas. And you know, we have the cousins. So you have cousins who reside in Djibouti, but no, everybody will leave their homes and we'll all stay in the family house. And you have open rooms, like the big living rooms will all be mattresses, you know, and we'll all be gisting through the night, you know. So those were really nice memories. Yeah. It wasn't cell phones. There were no cell phones. So all we did was gist, we would play, all sort of games and stories. And then the last day would be a Judioba, which has now become a global phenomenon, right? But because my parents had to go to work and we had to go back to school, we typically would travel back on the morning of Ojudioba. So that used to be really sad. So we'll first of all escape and go watch the horses for a few hours, you know, and then come back, and then it's time to go back to Warri, or if it was Kaduna, as the case may be. And those were really beautiful memories that were some of the fondest memories, you know, I have in my childhood.
I went to my first secondary school was in a place called, it was in Edo State, a place called Ibilo. So Ibilo is between Edo State, almost at the end of Edo State, going into Ondo State. And we had never been there before, but we had like a family friend who was a vice principal. Anyway, I found myself there, and it was horrible. There were like these insects that my skin just didn't like. And so we did everything. Of course, all the sprays, I went against the long gunshots, it was horrible. So I remember myself and my friends who said, geez, we can't tolerate this life. This is just one like 11, 10 and a half, 11. So we decided to write our parents and just write this really impressive story of how life is going. And so we wrote these letters. So I had 2 other friends, or 3. And one by one, we saw parents show up. The other 2 friends, their parents just came out to them. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm the only one here. And I just started to pray, like, God, I have to buy visiting day. Visiting day is like a big thing. You know that is when other parents come to visit the kids. And so it was the Friday before visiting day. This is as a just to. So then, anyway, just to first term. So I'm just there, it's Friday evening. But not to show up, and I just hear someone say, "Toby, your sister is here." And I turn, and my younger sister Kevin is there. She said, "Don't pack your stuff. Dad has come to get you. You're leaving." I was like, "What? For real?" And then I got out, and I saw my dad or my mom. I can't pack your stuff. And my dad said, "I got your letter," and I couldn't sleep. I was so disturbed. Yeah, getting out, and I just never forgot that. It was like so heartwarming. I'm like this little girl, and they come to get me out of the school. So that was so sweet, such a precious memory. And we got into the car, my siblings were back now. We talked our heads up for hours, like, yes, you can't go my letter. So I always remember that.
Oh, well, maybe this one, because I've said all the good things. So let me talk about when Tolu and I were spanked. So my mom wasn't home, she traveled. She was doing something called the sandwich course. So the sandwich course then, I don't know if it still exists now, is where you can have like a master's degree after you've gotten married. It's a different program that's crafted. So it's not on weekdays, it's over the weekends. So my mom used to go for that in another city. And then it was her birthday. And my dad had tried. He bought cookies and drinks to school. And that was the end in his mind. He came from work. Mind you, he brought all that from work. And that was the end of the party. And so he's shocked at 7 o'clock when little kids are knocking on the door that they came for the birthday. And it's like, which birthday? You already did. So Luke had told everybody to come for the party. That there was a party in the house. You know, my dad was by himself, my mom wasn't home, and he had done, and we told people to come for party. So he had to go get drinks, entertain them, and of course, when they left, we got the spanking of our lives. Maybe we knelt down almost the next morning. No more birthdays in this house. So that was one of the interesting. As loving, he was always also a firm dad.
I remember one day when we were traveling, we were leaving, I think we were coming from Ijebu-Ode. From Ijebu-Ode going back to Kaduna. And on our way, that time, we had a busted tire. That busted tire happened after Lokoja. We were approaching the bridge, so we stopped on the road. We were about to sleep in that bush when my husband said, no, you can't leave all these women here. He has to go and look for tire. He traveled back to Lokoja to go and look for tire. And after that, when he got the tire, he said, no, we can't continue this journey because he doesn't want us to be maybe left in the bush at night. And Nigeria was still very good then. We travel at night, there will be nothing, no kidnapping, no theft, no nothing. So we have to go back to Lokoja and booked in an hotel where we slept. And he lavished us in that hotel with everything that we needed, that we wanted to eat in that place.
we visited our first girl in Calgary. She was a material conductor, and she was with the University of Calgary. And there was an award ceremony that the university did. She didn't tell us that she was an award winner. She said they were going to have awards. So she invited us. I wanted to see what it was like anyway. And to our surprise, we were there and we had they gave us a picture, of all the things that I saw her name. I told my wife, your daughter is going to be awarded, look at her name. So while we were saying that, then they announced them and they announced their name. I was so very, very proud that I was there to witness it live. So one of the proudest moments of my life, because it was a big ceremony at the University of Calgary. And there were only 3 blacks among the so many the award winners. So I was proud to be there and I was happy.
Coming to think of these our wonderful girls, let me start with Kemi, the youngest. Kemi is very, very quiet. When he was growing up, she talks. She used to talk. But later in life, she became quiet. Very quiet, but what she will do is what she will do. She doesn't look at others. Whatever she says she wants to do is what she will do. Let heaven fall. That's her own way of life. And respectful too. She prefers to discuss with Tolu, because Tolu is the mediator, like they said. She listens. Tolu listens. Whatever your problem is, she will counsel you. She will listen. She will advise. So maybe that is why the two of them, even the senior, will still call her. Tolu, this is my plight. This is what I'm going through. How do you see it? What can you say? So Kemi is the only one that relates with Tolu, and whatever they discuss, you cannot hear. They won't tell you. That is the two of them. Coming to Tolu herself, Tolu is very quiet. She's a listener. She's will I call her the reverend, the pastor, Mrs. among them. She's, religious and gives. She's a cheerful giver. She's a cheerful giver. I have a home that I support here. Motherless home. His heritage home. The moment I tell her I want to go to that home, she will want to give me something. That mommy, oh, please take this to buy things along when you are going. She's a cheerful giver, a listener, supporter of others. She belongs to so many groups over there, where she counsel, where she advise, and carry others along with her. Coming to Sheyi, Sheyi is somebody like my husband. She too is very, very soft, very, very soft, and loving too. There is nothing Sheyi has that she cannot share with anybody. I may say all of them are almost the same when it comes to giving. He will maybe meet you today. She wants to know who you are. She wants to ask about your problems. She wants to help you solve it. She wants to belong to you and join you in whatever you are doing. A few weeks ago, she just lost a friend. That friend has been sick for some years, and she has been there for her. that is to tell you the type of person she is. Even when she does not have, she will go out of her way to borrow to solve your problem. So they are all good and wonderful girls, wonderful children that God has given us. I do advise people that it is not by being a boy that matters, but make sure that those girls that God has given you, you made good out of them. And they make us proud. We are made proud today. I remember one time we traveled. Someone called us and said, how do you people train these your girls? That they are wonderful. I said, well, we tried our best and God crowned our efforts with a great success. So that is just who they are.
I think Shay is the most stubborn. Kerry comes very close, so I wonder, I'll be curious about what they each say.
Shay. Kevin, the youngest.
Shay. Shay. Very easy. Shay, when she started driving at 16, my dad would say no one should touch this car, and Shay would mark the ground with a chalk, like exactly angles how the car was parked. She's going no way of importance. She's just trying to go to the next street to get a book from a friend. Like we could walk, and she'd mark it like did I mark it right? And she was like begging her because we're like, girl, instructions were given, and she would drive the car just to show that. And then she'll come back and like pack it. She's like trying to get us like she's packing the car in this angle and she's not getting it right. I'm like, you know, to put yourself in this trouble. And then she opens the hood, like the bonnet of the car, so that the engine is cool. And she's like, pray the rain. So just like excess what I can need. But she will take the cake for us with Babylon.
It may be a tie. I'm curious as to what the others say, but it may be myself or Kenny. I'm not quite sure. Tolu?
Yeah, I think so.
We are all deeply caring in different ways. I wear my heart on my sleeves, very obviously. Tolu, no, for those who know me, sometimes it's wrapped in, the exterior and you just grab and just get things done and a lot of noise and all of that. But I really am, I wear my heart on my sleeves. Tolu, on the other hand, she's soft-spoken. I call her what do I call her? I call her the mediator. And when somebody is a mediator, you're careful with your words. You reflect. You think deeply before you speak. And that is the one after me, right? She's got that gift. So when you've got firecrackers, firecracker 1, firecracker 3, so this person always like doubts the fire and all of that. Even with the parents, she'll be speaking English and you know her, right? So yeah.
Shayna, I think as Kemi has gotten older, she's gotten calmer. Even when younger, it might have been Kemi, but I think she see.
Well, if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, you can be sure Shay is the ringleader. Nobody else. Shay is going to plan it and execute it and tell you, we'll deal with the consequences. And fun fact, the way we were punished as kids, everybody served the same punishment. So it wasn't like you did it. If we were 3 in the house at the time, 3 of us would serve the punishment because my dad would say, you didn't say no, you didn't report. Probably me.
It's so easy to get caught up in this rat race called life. And I think I said a bit about it yesterday, just, really stopping and thinking about what is important. When I'm not here, who are those people that for them is 100% void, and then being intentional about those people. With so many negative experiences this year in terms of losing people, I did not bat an eyelid in thinking this is the right thing to do. Come spend time with our aging parents. Now more than ever before, you see them becoming frail. Yesterday I described that. I said, my papa na that guy man way he face cap, they face back. And when you just give that picture, it tells you a lot about who this person is, spring to his steps, all the energy and all of that. And now it's just this old man that is walking so slowly, and so you're reminded of their mortality, and you want to capture those times, those moments. And I think at this point I'm getting teary, but yeah, he's not going to be here in 30 years, that's for sure. But for my kids, remembering that this is a legacy as a first generation immigrant parent, remembering that, look, before you're Canadian, you're Nigerian, and you have roots. You're from somewhere called the Djibouti, and this is who we are. And we're somewhere we're the Akinolas of Ofa, Omwakinleje, you are warriors, and this is who your forefathers are, so that when those challenges come, they know who they want more, I want more, and 200, you know who your parents are, you know where you're from, and you know what is important and what the values are, and we were taught those things. I hope that we're able to pass it on to the next, and then to the next after that. And there's something that I treasure that we've gotten from the Daudu family, and that is love unlimited. That is love unlimited. We saw it demonstrated by my dad over and over. There was no boundary with extended family. Coming from a polygamous home of combined homes of almost 50 children at the end of the day, and today we have between his brothers, we have something called the Daudu dynasty, and I just want that to continue beyond their generation. With ours, the link has gotten weaker, but I hope that people watch this and then they see that, family is important. It is not about the money, it is about the quality of that time spent, the relationships built. And, to you, Tolu and Kemi, I'm so grateful we had this time together. I think about us as adults, and it is always rushing to just get stuff done. I can't remember this leisure pace where nothing wasn't like, we just wanted to be in the present, in the now. And I'm so grateful, for this time and for what we've achieved. And by God's grace, this is going to be the first of many. Amen. I hope we can do a lot more here, back home here, with extended family, things like that, and I'm living, going back with all of these memories and wanting to build on more. Amen. And I pray, as siblings, our love continues to wax stronger and stronger, and of course, there's no way, even the teeth in your mouth, they fight, right? So as family, we fight to make up and be better. Amen. So I hope that, we'll continue to create more memories in love together. Yes. And when we fight, we'll kiss and make up and on to the next memories. Yes. So that's it. You have it. Thank you.
Can I get a group hug?
Oh, hug. I love you, girls. Okay, come in the house. Representing the next generation. Wow. Let's go have dressed up. Okay.